Hello, everybody. This is Conquering History Games, and a big, big moment here today. We are playing the updated Equestria at War, Riverlands 1.3. So, for those of you who have not seen this on the channel before, I know I'm always getting new people in. Equestria at War is a full conversion mod, the first ever full conversion mod there was, by the way, of Hearts of Iron 4. And we are going to be playing one of the new nations that came out. I'm probably going to start a campaign here, and I'm probably also going to showcase at least one other nation. Earlier today, I finished up a couple of Kaiserite campaigns, so I've got some room on my schedule. In this one in particular, we are going to be playing as the River Republic. As you can see, there's plenty of other new stuff to try out. Now we're going to skip over the little intro thing because they take care of that. We're also going to do historical AI focuses because in this particular game, because I want to see how some of the new nations play out with the historical AI. So it should be pretty interesting. Now, let's go over the intro screen, the thing that pops up here for Equestria at War. First off, the River Republic, the city of the three rivers. So that is this is us right here, right in the middle of this this green patch. Which some of you may remember used to be one continuous big nation called the River Federation that just sat there and didn't do anything because they didn't really have a true focus tree that allowed for expansion or any sort of weird internal politics or anything like that. It's very much changed now. So, a land of tall mountains and fertile river valleys, the River Republic is a haven of peace and prosperity in the heart of the Riverlands. Since gaining independence from Lake City in 357, so I guess that was that's another one of these ones. Yeah, that's this western one here. It has remained free, its natural defenses proving difficult for both griffins and ponies to overcome. It has been a democratic republic after the year 814, it's the year 1007 right now for context, when the last Grand Princess Softwater, fearing a bloody succession crisis after her imminent death, granted all her powers to an elected parliament. It is also the most developed and wealthy nation in the Riverlands, with its capital, oh boy, Regikograd, I'm probably going to just call it Reggie, being a notable center of trade and industry. Last but not least, it was the founder of the River Coalition, and the Treaty of Coldstream was signed on its soil. After Chancellor Riverswirl, so that would be her, was elected in 1001, she began an extensive modernization program, dreaming to make the River Republic into the eastern counterpart of Equestria, a land where she had studied in her youth. For the most part, her plans were successful, and the Republic grew even wealthier than before. But this wealth was not as evenly distributed as she might have hoped, and industrialization introduced its own set of issues, especially for the workers. She managed to get elected for a second term, but this time the Socialists, united in a league led by Nova Whirl, are stronger than ever before. For months now, the Parliament building has been filled with arguments and disputes, with a political gridlock threatening to form soon. The Office of Harmonic Services, a secret service whose duty it is to ensure the survival of harmony, is becoming concerned and may intervene. If something is not done soon, the age of stability may soon end for the Republic. So, for anyone who's never seen Equestria at War before, as you can see, there's an awful lot of reading involved because you got to kind of understand the world. But it's fine with me. I think it's really interesting. So the region, we have moderate industry, a lot of rivers, grasslands, mountains. We've got to watch out for the Griffonian Revolutionary Army. Right now, it's the Griffin Liberation Army, but it's going to win the Civil War. It almost always does. Can grow rapidly. The other political instance is the River Federation. That's something I'm going to try to make. The East, due to the deterrence from the River Federation, finds itself largely protected from outside threats, even from the Griffonian Empire. This offers much-needed safety to Eastern nations, giving them extra time to build up and acquire territory. Okay, mechanics. There's a lot of new mechanics here. There's the crystals, expanded technology trees. Nukes are much stronger. Decisions, paperclip, all that sort of stuff. We can always come back to that later, because if you go over here and hit the question mark, you can reopen the welcome screen anytime you want. Anyway, let's get to it, yeah? Enough talking. So, we got a City of the Three Rivers, an unstable government, the Treaty of Coldstream. We're a Treaty of Coldstream member, so That's kind of important to understand what the Federation is. This state has signed the Treaty of Coldstream in 898. The River Coalition was founded after an attack by the Griffin Orders was pushed back. The founding members of the treaty were Lake City, Deponia River Republic, and Nimbusia. Although the treaty has been mainly a defensive alliance since its inception, some politicians and the supporters advocate to expand the treaty to allow for more cooperation between the states of the River Coalition. So these are all pony-led cities for the most part. Like Diamond Mountain is led by dogs, which has a brand new race tree. But these are all ponies in a continent full of griffins. Mass illiteracy, that basically hurts the entire continent. Poverty, so we're struggling there. We have a lot of negative things going on here. Let's go ahead and pick a national focus real quick. Dreams of a federation. The Treaty of Coldstream was designed in such a way that the coalition members could choose to expand the treaty to certain policy areas. It is a far cry from true political unity, but by breaking open discussion about expanding the treaty, we might be able to set a step in the direction of a true river federation. So that's going to give us some nice political power out of the gate. Signed some military factories, support equipment, artillery, a little bit more of that. Let's try to get some better infantry artillery while we're here. Let's also pick up the racial technology, Earth and Pegasi. We have Earth ponies here, so their agriculture will give us greater population growth and we'll use less supply as a result. And I'm actually not going to get the electronic mechanical engineering first. Let's get the basic machine tools first instead. Build up some infrastructure here in our capital, and away we go. Okay, so lot of stuff to drink in here in this new update. So let's look at our national spirit. So we are the city of the three rivers. We're right smack in the middle of this alliance, and so we have less consumer good factories as a result. That's nice, and our trade deal opinion factor is higher. Cool. Our government is unstable. Control of the parliament is divided between the harmonic HSR and the left-wing SKR. So the HSR, Harmonska, Stranchika, Reichka, whatever. The Democrats, basically. Harmony means the Democrats, with some exceptions. And the socialists. And then there's a teeny bit of non-aligned people, and we have no fascists in our government, apparently. So obviously, I guess we're not going fascist. We've got the mass illiteracy that's hurting our construction speed and increasing our research time. We also have poverty. There's been a coup attempt in Lake City. So this is over here. The military tried to overthrow the government. It did not work. The mayor is safe. That would be Mayor Springtime Frost. So already we're getting a big event happening here in our area. Okay. And we're suffering from poverty. The country has suffered a near total economic collapse, leading to tremendous levels of poverty all across the board. Increasing our consumer good factories, lowering our monthly population, increasing construction speed, and increasing research time. So the monthly population, that should be offset by me doing the Earth Pony agriculture. Good. Also, again, for those of you new to Equestria at War, down here you have something called the development area of your political menu. You have different sorts of science bases that you could be. We are currently not the highest developed one. We are a small science base, which means our research time is increased by 55%, but we do get 0.20 additional political power every day. We also have an outdated industrial sector, which is lowering factory output, which is hurting our factory output, dockyard output, construction speed, research time, and research gain efficiency by 10 each. I don't think we're able... usually it's going to probably have to be a focus or something that turns us into a modern society. The Emperor also has just died here of the Griffonian Empire, so soon they will... Reichspakt. Is that new? Huh, they renamed their focus. Oh, we got some new portraits here. Huh. This one's definitely new. Yieldom, I don't remember that. Anyway. So the Griffonian Empire is somebody who's going to get really big and, starting to swallow up the entire continent. So they're, of course, going to have the potential to become the strongest thing on the continent, usually. There can be other threats that pop up. We'll talk about them if it happens. So I think what we need to first figure out is let's deal with this divided government issue, because an additional almost whole political PowerPoint every day is really harsh, especially because that means I believe that means I'm losing political power every day whenever I have a focus. So we need to take care of that. Divided government, the start of River Swirl's second term as Chancellor has not been an easy one. Runner-up Nova Whirl has gathered a strong left-wing coalition against Rival Swirl and her Harmony Party. The two leaders and their parties have radically different ideas about policies which might result in political deadlock. Unless a solution is found, the government may cease to function. So let's do that first. Pretty big tree. It looks like we can go communist, and even from there we can go like kind of a social democracy, or we can go into a dictatorship. A lot of other things are going on down here. But it says, while we're taking this focus, events and decisions will be available to help guide the nation's future and remove unstable government. First issue, poverty. One of the bitterest and most acrimonious disputes between the Harmonist and Socialist parties is the issue of poverty. Thousands of mares and stallions live on barest subsistence, and it is extremely hard for any of the poor to find gainful employment. This stagnation has continued for several years now, and both sides blame each other for failing to act appropriately. The Harmonists, being the majority party, have proposed a bill that would increase investment in industry and infrastructure, arguing that this growth would create new jobs for the poor to take up and lift themselves out of poverty, while the Socialists are unconvinced, preferring the implementation of extensive social welfare programs. Novo Whirl, leader of the Socialist Opposition Party, has condemned the Harmonist plan, calling it the Fat Cat Benefit Act. Are there cats? I know there's dogs in this game. Is there cats, though? And has threatened to expel any socialist that supports it from her party. If more than 90% of her party follows her line on this issue, then the Harmonists may fail to secure a big enough majority to pass the bill. So the bill's going to pass. We're going to try to go the straight and narrow path with River Swirl and create the Federation. My idea is that I'm going to try to rush it, rush forming the Federation as quickly as I can, which is way down here. Obviously, it appears to be a years and years long process. So rush may not be the correct term, but I'm going to try to see how quickly I can do it. But I really want to get rid of this unstable government first. All right, industry, the engine of wealth. The initial signs are positive as business owners and industrialists are filled with confidence. Factories are churning, new positions, new openings. Great. So this basically modifies the poverty in a positive way. We got a little bit of political power. And the Harmonist stuff is helping us too. We also have some political power to spend. No war support, so I can't really go to partial mobilization. So I think what we'll do, unless we have a silent work pony, no. Okay, can't go wrong with getting a military theorist, I think, because I don't know how long it's going to take until we go to war. So we might as well be queuing up some army experience in the meantime. The rural-urban divide. The second issue to cause dissent in the parliament is the issue of rural versus urban concerns. The Harmonist Party draws much of its support from the rural farming population, while the Socialists rely almost entirely on urbanites. In fact, oh, by the way, because I'm listening to this tune and I don't recognize it, I am using the Equestria at War music mod, so we got a pretty big musical playlist. And I think none of it should demonetize the video. I guess I'll find out, right? I hope you all enjoy it. Anyway, the Harmonist Party draws much of its support from the rural farming population, while the Socialists rely almost entirely on urbanites and factory workers for their votes. However, in recent years, the farmers have begun to feel that even the Harmonists are not really their friends, as they have spent more and more time dealing with budgetary and economic concerns and less time addressing the issues that really matter to them. They complain of lack of good infrastructure, making it hard to sell their crops, of the high cost of fertilizer, making farming less profitable than it should be, and especially of the lack of policing in remote rural areas. River Swirl absolutely cannot afford to lose the farmers' support, and so she has drafted a rural development plan with a view to consolidate their loyalty to Harmony. The Socialists, understandably, are less enthusiastic about this plan. While they cannot scupper the bill entirely, they are advising that it be amended substantially to spread its funding between urban and rural areas, a move that would benefit them and only them. The question that remains is whether or not they would be able to secure enough support from the less loyal Harmonists to get what they want. The bill's going to just pass unaltered. Alright, more decisions. Also, let's assign these divisions. So we got a couple of our elite Pegasi units here. 6 battalions in each of them with a recon company. Okay. Faithful farmers, our investment efforts into the rural heartland of our country have met with initial success. New roads allow farmers to transport goods to market much faster and more easily. An investment in fertilizers has raised crop yields overall, and increased police spending has led to a sharp drop in rural crime, an issue that particularly bothers those who have to live in remote areas. Overall quality of life for the farmers seems set to improve, and they are extremely grateful to us for it. More political power and 4% more party popularity as well. Great, so we're already up to 66%. I think we have just a plain old majority now. We don't have to, it's not a coalition government anymore, really. Okay. The Talzar commune, the third issue that has come before the cabinet, is an odd one. A group of urbanite, upper-middle-class city ponies have left their dwellings in Rajikograd and taken up a primitive agrarian mode of existence in the Talzar Hills. Where's that at? I don't know. They have begun to forget that they are in fact part of our country and ignore the central government's orders. They refuse to pay their taxes, refuse to respect police officers, and in general act as if they were a completely independent country. Things have come to a head as a tax collector was attacked by the Talsarites when she tried to force them to comply with the law. This has led to fresh tensions in government. On the one hoof, this is a flagrant attack on a government official and cannot be tolerated. On the other, the official was a tax collector, and most of the public is having a hard time mustering much sympathy for a tax collector. Still, there is a general consensus that something ought to be done about these play-pretend farmers. After much wrangling, it has been agreed that one more diplomatic envoy should be sent to tell them to buzz off, but both political parties have suggested their own candidates for the task. The Harmonists favor the hard-nosed Marshal Hector Lipizan, while Nova Whirl herself is offered to go as the socialist representative. Oh, we're not going to send an army officer. That's going to get ugly. We'll send Nova. And I've got a big enough lead that if it helps the socialists, I'm not concerned. An embarrassing to display. To Nova Whirl's dismay, the Talsarites were unwilling to listen to her proposal of autonomy within the Republic. They simply considered themselves citizens of the world and were not bound by the laws of a society that they hadn't chosen to be born into. Nova Whirl's repeated attempts to convince them met with no more success, and while what happened next is not precisely clear, what is known is that Nova Whirl returned to Reggie in a wet, mud-soaked burlap sack. In light of her abject failure, Wildheart has taken matters into his own hooves and forcibly deserves the Talsarites back into their own homes. The whole affair has been an embarrassment to the socialist cause and has made the Harmonist government look altogether stronger, or at least more competent, than ever before. They will pay for this when the revolution comes. So that hurt my political power and stability, but it also hurt the socialists. So we're up to 70% popularity. Excellent. More pop-ups. This is a long 70-day focus. The Emergency Powers Bill, the HSR, is a broad tent of political viewpoints united only by their fear and hatred of communism. As such, they rarely agree on anything, and the River Swirl cannot even trust the majority of them to support her on hard issues most of the time. However, today, in a rare display of unity, the party has unanimously passed a resolution to provide the Chancellor with wide-ranging powers in the event of an emergency. Ostensibly meant to preserve the Republic's ability to fight wars and suppress rebellion without being crippled by obstructionist politicians, many note that the bill leaves the definition of emergency up entirely to the discretion of the Chancellor, and thus is a dangerous first step on the path to autocracy. Despite these concerns, the HSR has been so disgusted by the recent socialist attempt to paralyze our democracy that it has consented to allow this bill to be drawn up. The bill was voted through by a rare unified front of harmonists, and now all that River Swirl needs to do is sign the bill into law. I must think this over for a while. Unlocks the sign the emergency powers bill decision. This will allow you to overrule your political enemies, but beware, misuse of emergency powers is a slippery slope into tyranny. So I'm thinking, yeah, here it is, desperate times. Whenever I take it, I'll get political power. But what I'm thinking here is it's probably like Equestria, where you can turn her into Daybreaker if you take too many authoritarian decisions. All right. Nova makes her moves. It is no secret that River Swirl and Nova Whirl hate each other and constantly attempt to undermine each other's positions. But it was only today that their mutual disdain came fully to a head. At the climax of a particularly heated debate, Nova Whirl publicly proclaimed a motion of no confidence in the Chancellor, and as if planned in advance, her entire party followed behind her. This puts River Swirl in an untenable position. She can no longer run a democratic government with at least the nominal confidence of the second largest party. So, yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense because, yeah, it's at 70% right now, popularity for Harmony, but maybe that's among the people. It's not like the seats in the actual parliament have been changing. Where were we? If her own party was united, they might have been able to press on and simply ignore the socialists, but the HSR is a loose coalition of conservatives, liberals, and mild socialists united only by their fear and mistrust of the SKR. Many of her own party members abstained from voting, or even shockingly, voted no confidence also, leaving the Chancellor with few options. She will have to go back to the polls. Dissolve the government and hold a snap election that's going to take away 30% of my stability. I can now activate electioneering decisions from the decisions menu to influence the outcome of the election. The outcome of the election will depend on which party has more support on election day. Okay, so we got the emergency powers thing, snap election. We could slander the socialists. It is an absolute imperative that we win this election or the Republic may fall to the forces of communism. We will use every trick and resource available to us to win the public over. Hold on a second. even if it means we have to borrow money to do so. So we can become 15% more popular, but we'll get hefty election debts for a year, which is going to be an additional 7% consumer goods. Yeah, I've only got 4 factories working right now anyway. I think that's fine. It's only for a year. What's this do? No. No. Damn, I'd have to pay stability, though, if I went communist. Well, we're going to slander the socialists. All right. Debate in Koltovak is part of the campaign trail. Both again. Okay, it's just there's a debate, and the winner is me, River Swirl. Woo, we're filling up quick. We're at 90%. Awesome. Evoke emergency powers. Yeah, that little bit of political power, I don't think it's worth the stability loss. Although, then what happens? Will there be several decisions? Day of the Deputy. Harmonists presented by the... Okay. Harmonists are represented by the Marshal. Okay, so it's almost like a vice presidential debate. Carmel Hayes is a far more stringent Stallionist. Okay, basically Stallionist must mean Stalingrad, like their style of communism. Hector is a stern anti-communist. Okay, well, Hector's patriotism will go through. We're up to 95% harmony. Just all the way with harmony. Hector Lipzan, this guy is our field marshal. He's the one who was just in the debate. Nice glasses. So we're going to have him be, since people liked him, we'll make him charismatic. Actually, no, cancel that. He should be defensive doctrine, so he can stack that with the guerrilla fighter effect. As for who my main general is going to be, wait, who's this? Katarina Kanterhoof. She's a brilliant strategist. I might have to compare her stats to our other field marshal. All right, election comes to a close. Despite the chaos of the past weeks, River Swirl's HSR party has secured a majority in the polls. The Socialists, having expanded their political capital, forcing the snap election, should no longer be able to interfere with River Swirl's policies, as she finally has a large enough majority that she can afford to ignore them. I love democracy. I love the Republic. And now we no longer have an unstable democracy, so we're getting plenty of political power. Is there any reason to continue to go this way? Strengthen the OHS... Phoenix Programme. Bastion of the East. Look, I don't know about all this. I just know I want to work on some of this River Federation stuff. We can send some delegations out helping people, but first, River Science Society, more than 2 research slots, adds 1 to your standing in the race to form the River Federation. Encouraging an exchange of knowledge and of students. So let's take a look at this River Union thing. In 1898, the River Coalition was founded after an attack by the Griffin Orders was pushed back. The founding members of the treaty were Lake City, Deponia, and the River Republic in Nimbusia. I guess that's founded by Pegasus or something. What is this? I'll look at this in a second. Although the treaty has mainly been a defensive alliance since its inception. Okay. Basically, form it. So the race to form the River Federation has not started. Effects when I have to complete the Focus River Federation, which is almost at the bottom of that section of the tree. Effects when selected, all nations who are full River Union members will join the Federation under your command. The River Republic will be known as the River Federation. So, basically, everybody who's in the coalition, I guess. Well, it says full members. What does that mean? But anyway, it'll become one huge nation. That seems to be the concept. Delegation from Grenicliff. We have been approached by a delegation from Grenicliff. They asked for a simple trading agreement. Oh yes, this is the other changelings. So of course we've had the main changeling lands over here. But for a long time, we've had this other changeling queen here in this island off of Griffonia. Don't really know how she works. Don't know. Should be interesting to see. So they want a trade agreement. They've helped out Farbrook, so let us help them. We're guaranteeing Farbrook's independence. Trade will commence soon. Changelings are strange creatures, however, and our people are skeptical. We'll have to be careful with how they interact with these Grenicliffians. We'll help them out. We're nice people like that. So, what are we going to do here? No other decisions, I think, that I want right now. So, this will give me a 1. Now, if we strengthen the OHS, let's take a look over here where this goes. Emergency measures have been enacted. Okay, so if I do this, if I click, where is it? Oh, I never ended up doing it. Okay, so it looks like I can't go down here because I never did the emergency effort. What would this have done? Wartime harmony. Current ruling party is not harmony. Current ruling party is not communist. Okay, so I probably could have gone fascist if I had done the emergency powers. That's what it seems like. All right, new Minister of the Treasury. With the Republic stable and the financial sector once again about to function, the vacancy in the office of the Minister of Treasury has grown too important to ignore. We must choose a new administrator to hold the position. However, there are no notable candidates in the lower levels of the administration. Your Baba back in Zagreb has suggested you give the job to your cousin, Pumpkin Swirl. This would be sure to be appreciated by your family, and it's not like there's many impressive candidates, but it may cause a stir if you begin promoting family to office. What? Okay, if I don't do that, I will get 150 political power, which is pretty sweet. You will find some low-level administrator to fill the position. Baba will be disappointed, but she still loves you. Or gains Pumpkin Squirrel, which grants financial expert consumer good factories minus 5%. Baba will be very happy. So she hears something. A Pumpkin Swirl. Cousin Pumpkin has been given this job. How much consumer good factories am I using now? 44. That's a little weird. We're gonna take the political power. The consumer good factories aren't really that important. It's not as if I have any. It's interesting. Fun little event. So yeah, we do have the political power now, though. We could improve the workers' conditions. Stability is always a good thing. Yeah, we'll do just that. And over here, we're on an export focus. What can I do about war support? I might just have to wait for the tension to rise. Remove national spirit, illiteracy. Continue economic reforms. Has completed focus red Saturday. Has completed focus strengthen the OHS. Wait, what is this? Even though the decision of the Cup Committee to allow Diamond Dog players into the 1007 Riverlands Cup has caused some heated debates. The 4th ever Riverlands Cup took place at the Junction Stadium in Reggie this weekend, and it was surely not a disappointment. The Cup started off with a 3-2 win for Victory Vermanevitka over Wild Vodenia, and a 1-1-3-4 for Vittenlander and DYSC. The final was an intense battle, but a late 30-yard stunning volley that just knuckleballed right into top bins set Victory Vermanivicta ahead of DYSC. With so little time on the clock, the DYC's lack of experience didn't pay off as Victory Vermanivicta took the title with an enormous roar of the 22,000 pony crowd, a week to remember for all the hoofball fans far and wide. We are the champions. Cool. So anyway, the illiteracy thing, it looks like I can get rid of this kind of quick. The research time, it really sucks to deal with that. And I don't think I'm allowed to do any of this other stuff. So I might do, as much as I want to rush the River Federation thing, I might come over here and grab Compulsory Education real quick, which means I'd have to take Strengthen the OHS, Reforms, Nationalize, Compulsory. Oh, I'd also get an electronics bonus along the way. So let's pick this up. Yeah, Office of Harmonic Services. So, since it looks like we're going to have to do Bastion of the East, what does this give us? Golden Curtain. Guarantee cost minus 25%. So it looks like this is what I would do if I want to guarantee other nations. Or we could do prepare for the storm, strengthen our bonds with other coalition members, and ensure the alliance is strong. Establish the Minute Mares. So this is more volunteers. Secure the Riverlands. Unlocks safeguard the River Coalition decisions. This is if I'm not in a faction with the rest of them. Okay, so if we prepare for the storm, this eventually leads to Equestria of the East. Now that sounds like exactly what I want to do. River Swirl has followed Celestia's hoof steps. Oh, hold on a sec. Oh, cool, we can get better infantry equipment now. So, we need to pick up a couple of things here. Let's get that. Alright, we're done there. Strengthen the OHS. Healthcare reform. Yeah, no, I said I was gonna rush it. I'm gonna rush it. So maybe I'll do this compulsory entertainment thing, but Grand Army of the Republic. There's a lot of stuff going on in these trees. Excellent work as usual from the team. Fund the river trend. Yeah, we need to work on the dreams of a federation. So right now we're winning the race. Our standing is 1. So I'm guessing that means that the other members of the faction, they can also take focuses like I just did that are going to give them numbers. And I guess it's by the time I get down here or here, whoever has the most will win. And so that's the country that like everybody gets absorbed into or something like that. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm very excited about this update. And I'm going to be doing at least one of these river federations, but in a different way where we're not going to be rushing for the federation right away. I don't know who it's going to be yet. It's probably going to be Lake City. I'll tell you what it's not going to be. It's not going to be Vittenland because, by the way, there's new dynamic AI that they've been testing out. So this AI is actually able to adjust to the things that are going on around it. That's the plan, and that's amazing. And just another example of why Equestria at War has some of the best, it has the best, basically, AI in Hearts of Iron out of any mod I've seen. And that's just one of the reasons it's so amazing. So subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell so you're always notified whenever a new video goes up on the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy. Bye.